Hey, Thomas.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Doing good.
I wish I could say you look good, but I cannot see you.
Yeah, you got me. Jump bang.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, God. Sorry I'm a bit late. I was trying to find a man to fit a cooker on an island in the middle of the Outer Hebrides.
What? What are you doing there? I mean, you're supposed to watch Karlsruhe play. The Bundesliga started again. You're not supposed to be somewhere else. I mean,
yeah, I know. It's big. Football. Me and football are not happening at the moment. Right?
Oh,
it was bad. I mean, it was bad enough that 5-1 in the Euros. It was like. I knew it was going to happen, and I'm so lucky that I have a wife who is understanding, and who is like, and she's also very pro-Scottish, right? And we sat on the couch, and I knew, right? I am of the generation, right, that saw Scotland go to Argentina when everybody was doing Ali McLeod, we're going to win the World Cup. I remember all that, and I was sucked into that. A long time ago, and I have never been sucked into it again. So when everybody here was going, oh yeah, we're going to get at least a draw from Germany, and they're not very good at the moment, and like we could win this, and I'm going, nah, don't go there. No. And it was like, and there was a friend of mine that was on Scottish TV, right, and he was very drunk, and they got him before the match, right? And they said, so what do you think the score will be? He's going, 2-0 for Scotland, easy. And I'm going, no. And there I was, and there goes goal number 3, and my wife was great. She didn't rub it in. She just said, oh no. And my football club, Hibernian in Edinburgh, is rubbish, which is one of the reasons why my wife and I are moving to the Outer Hebrides in Scotland. We're getting as far away from the stadium as possible. But I tell you the funny thing, you'll like this, right? So we've bought a croft. We have a croft, which is like a small farm.
Yeah.
It's about 14 hectares, right, on this island, on a really small island in the Outer Hebrides. You walk out our front door, you go over a field in 5 minutes, and you're on our white sand beach, right? Yeah. You go out back door, you go across a hill, 40 minutes over grassland, and you're on a beach that's 3.5 miles long. That was the best white sand beach in the world 3 years ago, right? On the loneliest. And from the sea, the next piece of land is America. That's where we lived, right?
So do you live right next to Father Ted, or do you?
I got to tell you this. We've got 13 sheep, right? We've got 13 sheep, right? And they're called blackface, Scottish blackface sheep, right? We have 13 sheep, and they're called Harriet Brownlee Shadler, Stanton Blackley, Edwards Gordon, Cropley Duncan, Hamilton and Hazel, right? Which is the Hibernian team from 1972. I used to see when I was a child with my dad. We know all the names, but we don't know which one is which.
You got to slaughter them according to the people who died.
Yeah, or how bad they play.
So
we're going to teach them how to play football and enter them into the Highland Games.
Do you live next to Father Ted?
Yeah. That's what it's like. That's what the island's like. It's great. It's beautiful. I love it.
It's insane.
And I would never ever have thought, right? Yeah. So I do this European tour.
Yeah.
Right. And during the tour, I've got to work out who the boyfriend's going to be, right? Because my sheep they're no longer lambs, right? So they're now of age. They can now be presented to a gentleman, right? A gentleman sheep. So we've got to find the gentleman sheep. So my neighbour is going to be sending me photographs here. There's this one. There's another one, right? And then I come back off the European tour, and then the 13 sheep, the football team, they go and meet the gentleman sheep, and they spend a couple of days with the gentlemanship. Then we come back from the UK tour, right? Yeah. And that's when all the lambs are born. So we go from a rock and roll tour into a lambing season on a farm, right? Unbelievable. Right?
Is there a Twitter for sheep? I didn't know.
Yeah,
a Tinder. Let's see how far I'm off. Oh man, that's just insane.
It's great.
Are there already bets running? How long are you gonna stand living on an island and then return?
Oh no, anybody puts a bet on that, so it's a no-brainer. It's like I've done it. I've done it. I mean, this is a farewell tour. Yeah. And I've had a great time in the music business. I've had a fantastic time in the music business. It's been really good to me. I've got lots of friends. I've got wonderful fans who have been so supportive over the years. But the reality is that, you know, the business has changed. People don't really buy albums anymore. Yeah. They listen on Spotify, you know, and, you know, the only place you can really make a living, earn a living is on the road. And, you know, my reality is I will never be playing arenas again. You know, I will never play arenas again. You know? Yeah. And I don't want to spend the rest of my life on a tour bus, you know, and waking up on a tour bus to do another venue. I'm 66. My accountant said to me, she said, there's money in your account. And I went, where from? Right? I knew it wasn't Spotify, right? I said, I don't know. I said, there's money in the account. She said, yeah. She said, there's money coming. Yeah. I said, I've not done any TV. I've not done any radio work for a while, right? And then I realized it was my pension, right?
No, you gotta be kidding me.
No, I've got a government pension now. I mean, I gotta get it every month. So it's it's more than Spotify, right?
But you know,
I earn more on a pension than I do from Spotify. But I mean, the thing is, it's like I realized, in all honesty, right?
Yeah.
It was like there's only so long, and it's a young man's game now, and I've got more things to do than run about Europe in buses. And my wife and I both felt we had one more big adventure left, so we've taken over this croft. Yeah. And my wife is going to run. She's from Karlsruhe, as you know, right? So she's going to run like a small restaurant. So it's only for like 2 tables, 10 sittings, and a cafe, right? So we've got a small restaurant and cafe that's basically people come up to the beach, cycle. We're going to introduce Scottish people to Radlers, right?
Excellent.
We're going to introduce Radlers, right? Because we get bike teams come through, right?
Yeah.
And we have a garden and we grow our own vegetables, our own fruit and vegetables. We sell that through the shop. Wife runs the restaurant, the cafe, and I've got a lovely room upstairs, and I look straight onto the sea, and I can write my autobiography. I can do my writing, and I've got my friendly 13 sheep that I'm teaching now to play football, and it's going to be great. And maybe in the end of the year when it's winter and it's really dark and it's really shitty, right? We can come off for maybe 4 weeks, and we can do like Fishheads Club tour or something, you know. We could just do some acoustic or stand up, read from a book, and just play a small club to 250 people, eat in a restaurant, stay in a hotel, 4 weeks, bit of sun, go home, you know. See the sheep.
So are you gonna serve sheep and lamb at this restaurant?
Lamb and sheep, actually.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. How could I get this wrong? Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, this is it. We can, I've got no problems. We're going to get chickens and stuff. We thought about with so much rain. There's so much rain, and the back of the croft is like Shrek swamp, right? We thought about getting water buffalo.
I'm gonna come and visit this pub and this restaurant. I have to see.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Mark my words. One day I'm going to be knocking at the door. I want lamb. Okay.
But it's going to be brilliant. It's good. It's the right time. It's the right time in my life. It's the right time in Simona and I's life. We've got one big adventure. Like, we can go for it. And it's time to. It's the music business, is a young man's game. I'll let somebody else. As I said, the only place you can make money now is on the road. So I'll give my space in the venue. I'll give my night in a club to some other guy, Oh.
Well, but it's funny that you said it's a young man's game. From what I've learned in the past couple of years, although you are quite awfully young to retire when it comes to all those rock bands. Deep Purple is still on the road. The Scorpions will never go away. You know, you have to get them off the stage. I mean, no offense.
But they're playing arenas, right? It's easy when you're playing arenas and you can afford a physiotherapist, you know? Because that's the difference, you know. Like I'm destined to be playing, 2,000 capacity. That's it. So you have to keep moving. You don't have. You can't really stay in big hotels. You don't have a team. You're still fighting. You're still in a guerrilla warfare element of touring, And it's like, and I don't want to do that. I've done it. I've had great fun, and I've played arenas and I've played stadiums and I've done it. But this is the time to go. No.
It's so definitive. Is there anything, music-wise, music business-wise, concert-wise, whatever, where you would say, okay, I've done everything, but I've missed out on this one? Is there anything left for you to achieve? Was there any goal that you said, like, I could not do this?
I'm quite happy with doing what I've done. I've been really lucky, and I'm really grateful for the opportunities that I've been given. I played Wembley Stadium. I played Mannheim with Queen, a big open air. I've had. I mean, it's really weird. I mean, my favourite tours, right? The Fishy Heads Club tour was massive. Coming back from the vocal operation and doing that, playing Bosnia in 1996 with the army when we played the United Nations, that was incredible. Even playing Mogadishu, flying into Mogadishu, doing one show and coming out, that was amazing. I've done like loads of stuff that's been great. We had great times in America. We had wonderful tours. There's nothing really that I kind of go, oh, I wish I'd done that, or it's been cool.
It's still amazing though, because I think to be an artist, it doesn't come from you want to do this, but you must do it. And so I was wondering, once you stopped everything when it comes to the music business and touring, are there still songs left in you? Will there be new songs left in you where you go like, oh God, I got an idea, I don't know. I mean, the bottom line is, I am a writer who can sing. I am not a singer who can write. I'm a writer who can sing. And there's a big difference between the two. I love writing. I love words. Yeah. That's what I'm really, really good at, is words, right? The singing it's a natural expression. It's my soul. It's my spirit. Makes me sing, right? Yeah.
And yes, there will be a calling. And, maybe somewhere down the line, there's like, maybe I'll work with some young musicians in Scotland and I'll turn myself into the Highland version of Leonard Cohen, It was like a big, deep voice, like a bird on a wire.
So you basically, but you are still looking forward to this tour. You are.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this tour because it's like the movie Reds or whatever it was, where you've got like Helen Mirren and Sylvester Stallone and John Malkovich, and they're all sitting there going, "We can do it one more time." It's like that, And I've got Mickey Simmons, who I met when he was with Mike Oldfield, and Mickey came to me, and then we wrote the Vigil in a Wilderness of Mirrors album, right? And then he wrote the Eternal Exile album with me and Robin Bolt. And interestingly enough, like now we have the two remixes, the 2024 remixes. Yeah. Vigil and Internal, right? That are out, and I'm ending my tour. It's like a great big circle closing. I started with Vigil and Internal, and I'm finishing with Vigil and Internal, and I'm going out with the same band that started me on my solo tour. So Mickey Simmons, Robin Bolt, Steve Vancis, who co-wrote 13 Star, Feast of Consequences, Weltschmerz, He's coming out. Gavin Griffiths is my drummer. And I've got Elizabeth Troy Antwi on backing vocals, who's just a genius. And she did the Rain Gods with Zippos album. And on the tour, on the gigs, I mean, the shows are about 2 hours long. And we've got 34 songs to choose from. We are rehearsing 34 songs. And we pick about 17 every night. And we'll change there'll always be changes every night. Some of the songs will move in, move out. And all the songs will be the last time that I play these, in the big electrical format with a full band, you know. So it's going to be really cool.
How did you choose out of the 375,000 songs that you have, those 34 songs?
Some of them are obvious.
Yeah.
You know, in reality, I mean, I'm trying to think. I think I've written about 150 songs, 160 songs. So there was some I just wanted to play.
Okay.
So stuff like, you know, from the Marillion catalogue. I mean, there's the Kaylee Lavender Art Lothian thing. You know, Incubus, Fugazi. But I don't want to be too into, you know, that was only 4 albums, you know.
Yeah.
They were a big 4 albums for some people, but we touched them and we play some songs from them. But, you know, you've got Eternal Exile and Vigil, the 2 new releases, right?
Yeah.
You've got Lucky, you've got Cradle, you've got Shadowplay, Just Good Friends. You know, you've got all those songs, great songs, like classics. And then you've got Plague of Ghosts from Rain Gods with Zippos that we've not played for ages, and just go out and play it. And Feast of Consummation and Weltschmerz. I mean, my last album, Weltschmerz, an album that was never played live in Germany because of COVID, right? And so we're bringing Weltschmerz into, you know, the songs from Weltschmerz. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
You know, how come that I just looked at the list of all the concerts that you do? How come that all the concerts in the Netherlands are sold out already? I mean, what is wrong with the Dutchies? Or what's right with them? Do you have a special connection to those guys?
I think we always did. I think it had a lot to do with radio and TV.
Okay.
When you think about it, because I mean, Holland gets BBC, and you know, so that they were a lot. The Dutch were in the 1980s. They were listening to a lot of the rock stations and things. Right, early doors where Marillion would get played. And I think as well, you know, it's just this relationship. I mean, I've always had a brilliant relationship with Germany. I mean, there's a lot of German gigs in there as well.
Yeah.
But it just so happened that the Dutch gigs sold out first, you know. And I'm sure you know, I mean, Karlsruhe was sold out already. Karlsruhe sold out in the early doors. Hamburg's nearly sold out, and you know, they'll all be gone by the time we come out to play, you know. And Munich, we had brilliant. The last 2 nights, the last 2 times we were down in Munich, brilliant shows, absolutely brilliant shows.
I'm going to be there for this one too, definitely.
You'll like it. Yeah. I'll bring the sheet. I'll bring them all there. I'll have them inside the stage. Yeah.
Somehow I even believe you. But anyway, what is there in all of your career? Have you ever thought about how your very last concert must look like? Or is this something that you come across now? You go like, this is going to be the last one now. How is it going to be?
Well, Glasgow's the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, basically Glasgow, I come off stage at Glasgow. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got no idea, you know.
Okay.
I mean, even next Friday, I'm doing the last Fishing Friday broadcast from here.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do. You know, I mean, the Fishing Friday's been 4 years. We've been doing a program most Fridays for 4 years, ever since COVID, since lockdown, since we started it, or since I started it. And I've got no idea what I'm going to do, and I don't know what I'm going to do in the last show. But I mean, every show is the last show. I mean, you know, when we play Munich, it's going to be Munich will be the last show in Munich. You know,
okay, yeah, right.
And it's just, so I mean, every night there's going to be emotions tied in with every night. You know, so when I actually go, thank you very much, Munich, good night. It is good night, Munich. It is goodbye. You know, so that. Unless I'm back there for the next Euros.
Yeah, might as well happen.
Yeah.
You have pretty much all your records, I think, are re-released and remixed and, you know, made with packages that are very opulent. There's a lot to discover on those last 2 releases. Was all this material in the archives? Was that all sitting around?
It's all been kicking around. And what I wanted to do was, you know, before I retired, I wanted to get all I wanted to have my entire catalogue in a format. Yeah. So that's why we remastered a lot of the. We started to remaster them about 8 years ago, and the last 2 were always going to be Eternal Exile and Vigil. The first 2 albums. That's what I said. It's the big circle. You know, I started. But you know, I'm talking to you here in the studio. This is where we wrote Vigil. This is where we recorded Eternal Exile.
All right.
And this house has been sold for moving up to go up to the Croft.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, it was important for me to kind of put them. I wanted to put them in a format that I wanted, you know, not so much like what a fan wanted. I wanted to put them in something that I could give to my daughter.
Yeah.
That's what your dad did, you know, and I'm really happy with that. I mean, Vigil and Eternal, I've got to say that if I really knew what I was getting involved with a year and a half ago, I think I would have stopped myself, because it started with, I mean, both Vigil and Eternal, there's 3 CDs. There's the complete remix on one CD, the demos on another, the live stuff on another 2 CDs, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a Blu-ray with 2 full concerts from the day, and the Dolby Atmos, and all the and it's like, and we got to the point where we're going to have to charge like €70 to make money off this, right?
Yeah.
Seriously. And we can't do this, so we've had to bring it. Basically, I'm making about as much, although the album might be for €50 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the profit margin is so small because there's so much on it, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's been ridiculous. But I'm happy. That's the way I've always done things. I would never have kept a job at a record company because I would have lost them so much money, right? Yeah.
But you still have your pension. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. I had the sheep. Don't forget the sheep boxes.
It's insane.
And the Radlers. Oh.
You know, you seem so much at peace with everything you've decided to do now. Do you, still looking back, do you think you got all the merits that you deserve?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's like, I'm happy and proud of what I've done. I mean, you know, there are songs like out there like Just Good Friends and Gentleman's Excuse Me and Sugar Mice, and there are songs in my solo catalogue right the way through. I mean, even off Belchmeltz, I mean, Garden of Remembrance, right? That's had, you know, Garden of Remembrance has had over 1 million plays on YouTube on the video, right?
Yeah.
Of which I hardly see anything, right? And, you know, it would have been nice to, have had a couple of big hits. I mean, you know, Kaylee was the big one.
Yeah.
And Lavender, but, you know, and that's the same. But then again, if I'd had, and this is the way I look at it, if I'd had a big hit with one of those songs, it would have changed where I am now, right? And I wouldn't be able to make the decisions that I'm making now, right? So everything is relative. That's the way I look on it, you know? And it may be in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, maybe somebody will license my catalogue from me, and one of these songs will pop up somewhere, like, you know, running up that hill that Kate Bush had or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll pop up, we'll go, oh yeah. It's in the same way. I never heard of Nick Drake, right? When I didn't hear Nick Drake until I was in my 40s, right?
Yeah.
And I love Nick Drake's music, right? And I think that's what I'm happy about. I'm happy that I've got a collection of songs that people will be able to savor and enjoy for years to come. I don't have to sing them anymore. They're all recorded. And the recordings that we've made are great recordings. And the remixes are great remixes. So that's what I'm leaving. That's what I bequeath, you know? And I'll be quite happy, and I'll be up there, and I'm looking forward to sinking fence posts in and putting fences and digging drains. And I'm looking forward to doing that. I like the soul of that, you know? I learned that during COVID. You know, I think because COVID, because of lockdown, because we were lucky we lived in the country and we were forced to become very introspective and very, to look at what we were, where we were, and how we were. And I think it's that. I went, I really like this. And that's what we're taking. That's what my wife Simone and I decided to take on. And that's what we're going to in the Croft. So it's the right time to walk from the music business, have fun, say goodbye, and wave to the people and go, thank you very much. And then get in the car and drive to the island, you know?
From what you've been telling me, this sounds more like a funnier version of Clarkson's Farm than Clarkson's Farm. I wish you could have filmed that. I wanted to see that.
Yeah, we'd been offered. I mean, we had offers from film companies to do it, and we said, no, we're not doing it.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't want the intrusion of privacy. At this stage, we're going into it because I think it would have been too easy to focus on the mistakes and too easy to focus on the things that go wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't want to provide that. That's not the entertainment I want to provide to people.
Okay.
So what Simone and I have decided is we go up there, we do everything on our own terms, and we keep it at that level. And then when we're ready, then we'll open it up. But we don't really need to open it up. The idea is to try and create something that is self-sustainable. I mean, it's all air source heat pumps and solar PVs, and eventually there'll be a wind turbine and things. So I mean, that's what we want to do. Well,
now, when I come to visit your restaurant, just tell me the name of your restaurant.
It's not really got a name yet. To be honest, it's taken us a year to learn how to pronounce the name of our house. Right?
But I understand it.
Yeah, it's if you write it down, it's Beasdaire, and it reads like Beasdaire, right? But
what's it pronounced?
Bistassa.
What?
Bistassa. Right? And it's Old Nordic, right? Because on the island there were Vikings, and it's an old Nordic name, and it means homestead or farm, right? And we actually, on the croft, seriously, we've got a 13th century chapel and graveyard on our croft, right? And there's evidence of Vikings. There's evidence of post-Iron Age settlements as well on the island. It's incredible, right? We've got archaeology for days as well.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was a kid, right?
You're going to be one now.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's just amazing. I have no more further questions, Joanna. I could talk to you for fucking hours. It's such a fucking fun time. It's so good.
It's going to be cool. I'm so looking forward to it. It's great, I mean, the last thing I ever wanted to be was going to sit. I mean, with this house, it was like, what? I'm full. I mean, that's the only way I can describe this place. I'm full. I don't know what to do here anymore. Yeah. And I think it was a whole mixture of that when Simone and I were saying, like, what are we going to do? I tell you, I'm going to finish. I'm going to tell you a great story to finish, right? Brilliant, right? So the reason we went up north, right? My mother was in care with us for 4 years, right? And we knew she was going to have to move into a home. It was getting too complicated. And my wife and I said, what are we going to do here? And for loads of reasons. We actually said we need to downsize, right? And I had a friend of mine who's an artist, right, called Keith McIntyre. And he did the cover of the songs from the Mirror album, which is a charcoal paint thing called the Guddler, right? And he was at our wedding, right? And he said, you've got to come up and see us, right? And when he explained where he was, I've known him for 30 years, right? And he converted this church on this island, right? Yeah. And he said, and I'd seen, it's on a TV series, right? Like, it's on a TV thing, the actual renovation of this church. And he said, you got to come up. And I said, well, how do you get there? He said, you've got to drive for 6.5 hours. Then you go across the island of Skye. Then you get to a ferry. Then you get the ferry for 2 hours. Then you get off the ferry. Then you go right. Then you go up and you go across this blah, 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 up across the lochs. And then you go across a causeway between the two islands. Then you go onto the island, take a right at the white sand beach. You take a left. That's where we are. And I'm going, get real. And anyway, I thought, this is like fucking Brigadoon, right? It's like... and we went, and I said to Simone, I said, well, 2 years ago, I said, let's go. Right? Let's just go and see them. Yeah. Let's go to the Highlands and keep our eyes open, because we said, look, we both decided we wanted to move from here. And we went, well, where are we going to move? Right? Yeah. And we said, well, let's maybe up north. It might be great with global warming and everything else and everything that's happening. Maybe the islands is where we should go. Right? Yeah. We went all the way up. Long story, we did the ferry, we did the causeway, we did the bit, we got to the church, and we went out to a ceilidh that night. Ceailidh, ceilidh, right? A ceilidh is a Gaelic name for a coming together of people, right? And I'd never been to a real Kaylee before, right?
Yeah.
And everybody thought that because I wrote Kaylee, right, that had something to do with Kaylee. It didn't, right?
Yeah.
And we got invited, so we went to this. We went to a Kaylee, my first ever proper one. Band playing, it was run rig songs, Eagles, traditional Highland music. It was people dancing, lots of beer, shitloads of whiskey, right? And it was just great. People talking, and it was a community coming together. And it was just so friendly and so beautiful. And it was in a byre where you keep cows, and had a sand floor because it was down by the beach, right? So we're dancing in sand on a byre, drinking beer and stuff, and it was great. And at the time, we were smoking at that time about a year ago, right? And we went outside and we were talking. One of the musicians was there, and people said, "What's your name?" I'm Derek. Bish doesn't live up there anymore, right? Bish does not live there. It's Derek, right? Yeah. And the musician knew who I was, and we was talking. And there was a girl, and my wife and I were talking to this girl, and everybody goes, "What do you do? What do you do?" Right? And I said, "So what's your name then?" Right? And she goes, "My name's Kaylee." I said, "You're kidding me. I'm meeting Kaylee at a Kaylee." This is a joke. In the middle of the Western Isles, I mean, something called Kaylee at a Kaylee. I mean, the chances are incredible, right? And I said to her, "So was your dad a big Marillion fan then?" She goes, "No." She said, "My mum fancied the singer."
This is just incredible.
And then when she found out who I was, it was like bang, you know. And then we all got talking, and what happened was that, you know, we Simone and I would go like, "Well, could we live here?" I mean, and we go talking to these people. They're going, "You'd love it here," and like, it's great. And but the sense of community was one of the things that really sold us. And anyway, we drove all the way down the archipelago of that, you know, Hebrides, and the croft came up for sale, and it was the croft right next door to my friend's house. Right? Right? And
it's destiny.
I tell you the weird thing, right? This is the great thing, right? So there's a hill at the back of our croft, right? And there's golden eagles on it, right? There's golden eagles on the hill. They come down and sit around about the house, right? They, you know, looking at the sheep. Food, McDonald's. And it's the thing was that there's a loch at the bottom of the hill, and it's like a freshwater loch. It only really comes in the winter, and then it disappears in the summer, right? Or it goes down a bog. And we didn't know what the loch was. And one day we were looking at a local map on the side of the local bistro, right? Yeah. And it had the name of the loch. And the loch is called the Tara Loch, right? And both Simona and I have daughters called Tara, right?
How much more destiny can you have?
You know, it's just incredible. I mean, you know, and there's been so many coincidences and stuff, and like, you know, it's been weird, really weird. But Simona said, she said to me, she said, "I've never known you be so relaxed and so at peace as where you are with us." You know, so, beautiful place. You'll see it. Yeah.
Oh, I will.
I'll introduce you to all the sheep. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Hang on, I'm not from Wales. Don't forget that. It's you know what it's just fine that you get all the time you have now once this whole thing is over. But I'm gonna fucking miss talking to you. You know that. I never know what. It's really weird. You know, the other weird thing is, it's like I was told that this is really strange. Right? Yeah. Long time ago, before I went into music, I was told I would have 3 careers by an Iranian guy read my palm. Right? Yeah. And he said, when I was in forestry, he said, you're going to have 3 careers in your life. There's one you're in now, you're going to leave it very soon. Your second career is something that you've never considered seriously as a career. You've thought about it, but you've never considered it. Yeah. And he said, it's going to make you very famous. And it's going to make you a lot of money, but it's going to take you to in front of a lot of people, right? And you've never thought seriously about doing this before, right? Right? And then he said, you'll have a third career, right? And he said, the thing is, every time you move from one career to the other, you'll know, right? He said, because things start to happen and they go right. And he said, like, you know, the things that happen in the previous career, things go wrong,
right? Or you'll get signals.
Yeah.
And in forestry, I got the signals and I moved into music. And the music was obviously my second career, right?
Yeah.
But he said the third career, and it's like, and suddenly the croft has come up, right?
I thought sheep.
And this is my third career. But the weird thing was, he said that your third career is going to make you even more famous and even more rich than your second career. And I'm going, how the hell am I going to make that much money at crofting and sheep, right? It's interesting because it's like, I think I'm enjoying it as much as I did my initial kind of experiences and what I'm learning, because it is a big learning curve. I mean, make no doubt about it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying the learning, and I'm enjoying talking about the learning now. And I can sit down and have conversations with crofters and people in agriculture and things now, and I can talk about it. And I'm also moving to a part of the world where, you can make a difference, and, with your views and being involved with the community, you can make a difference. Maybe that's kind of whereas, with renewables or green attitudes or environment or something, and my writing, maybe it feels right. Yeah. I don't feel that. I mean, sometimes I get really scared. I mean, sometimes I will wake up in the middle of the night. I will have fear, right? I'll go, what the fuck am I doing, right? Which, if I didn't have that, it would be wrong, right? But it feels natural, and it feels it's the right thing, to do it. Yeah. And I feel good. I feel really, really good.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to. Definitely. Totally. Yeah. I think this whole Zoom meeting is going to end very abruptly in like a minute. So
lovely to see you again. Wonderful. No,
I'll see you in Munich. I'll be there.
Okay. Take care.